look, hazing's bad, kids. But Cody Bellinger,
it's definitely bad. But you're getting your fucking ass
Cody
hazed,
Bellinger, if he came to Houston, and that's just from the guys. This fan base.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian, LaLima, ApolloDez. Producer Josh here with you. We're at Apollo HQ today. I hope everyone, Dez, Josh, I hope you guys had a nice Thanksgiving. We're recording this on November 30th. Tomorrow is Thursday, December 1st. The stove is starting to heat up for the Houston Astros. They just officially introduced Jose Abreu as their new first baseman. Jeff Bagwell in the mix. Jim Crane had some things to say. There's a couple of names that we're going to discuss, Wilson Contreras being one of them. I saw a report that Andrew Benintendi might be a name that they're going to approach. So, let's get right into it. Jose Abreu now with the Houston Astros. How we feeling? First of all, how we feeling, guys? Josh, how we feeling? You all right? You okay? I know you were slanging merch. We just dropped the gold letter shirts, the H-Town versus everyone.
We did.
Buy it.
And we're shipping those out personally.
Yes.
Yeah, with love.
With love and care.
Working their ass off.
Yeah.
Shipping them out. But, feeling good.
Yeah,
Feeling
Dez, you okay? You doing all right? You seem angry. Why are you? He seems angry, doesn't he?
I'm just
Right?
giddy.
No, what are you giddy
about? It's Christmas time. I'm still off a championship high.
Your Longhorns just barely got past Baylor. You're feeling good, huh?
We're about to be 9-5. Texas is back. Texas is number 2 in the country in men's basketball. U of H.
Yeah, Kelvin Sampson.
1.
They just beat down
All
Norfolk
roads
State
lead
last
to
night.
Final Four
Here in Houston.
Life's good, man.
I can't wait till we get our other podcasts up and running so we can talk stuff like that.
It's all
entertainment. That's a teaser, by the way. It's going to be beyond the. Don't know yet.
If you have a good name for our next podcast, let us know. Drop in the comments.
Yeah.
But speaking about this podcast, I love in sports when owners and teams know there's blood in the water.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening right now in Major League Baseball. And it should scare everyone outside of these Houston city limits. Because right now you have an owner that is gung-ho on spending money. You have a team that is built for a new championship window for another 4 or 5 years. And a lot of fucking confidence behind that. And you have a manager who's able to take the analytics and explain it to his players and have his players and explain to the analytics leading the ship. And you, at the end of the day, have this cornucopia of just fuck you to the entire league. And it makes me very happy. So I'm not upset. I'm just very happy right now.
Yeah, and I think the craziest part is like they very well may lose Justin Verlander.
Yeah, and
to like the Dodgers or Yankees or Mets or somebody.
It doesn't affect them.
Not at all.
And that's like respect to Justin Verlander.
The utmost respect to the future Hall of Famer and everything he's done for this city, for this team, and this organization.
And he could come back.
Right.
Literally, I think Crane is playing it the right way where he's like, and we said it offline, but and I'll say it on here, like, I've never seen an owner and a player have this kind of connection in like sports.
Right.
And so he's saying, hey, go out there, shop around, find your deals, and then come back to me with a number. If it works, it works. You'll be an Astro. We'll go over the threshold. And I think that's the only reason we'll do that if Crane like really wants Verlander back. But if not, thank you for everything you did here. Your 2 Cy Youngs, your 2 rings. Like, go get the bag.
Yeah. And you and I are both on the same page. I'm sure Josh as well. Like, we're always on the page of go get the bag when you're an athlete. Go get as much money as you can.
You have a small window to maximize what you're doing at the top 1% of the world.
But if you're the Houston Astros, and we've said this before here on Beyond the Diamond, like over $40 million a year, probably not going to do that. Jim Crane's not going to do that. I would say probably around like 33 to 35, maybe. But if you're Justin Verlander, it's like we talked about before we went on, before we came on to the podcast. If you're Justin Verlander, like you're out, you visited with the Dodgers. I'm sure you're going to visit with the Mets. I'm sure you've had talks with the Yankees. I don't know any other team. Maybe the Giants. They've got money.
The Braves, maybe.
Maybe, right? So you see all these other teams. You know what you're going to get here in Houston. You know you'd be the ace. But then again, like at some point, you just saw the Astros bring in Jose Abreu. There's a lot of rumors about Wilson Contreras. The Astros are going to meet with him at the winter meetings, which are next week, to play left field and DH. So that means that Maldi's still going to be the catcher. You have familiarity with Martin Maldonado if you're Justin Verlander, and Wilson Contreras if he's your left fielder / DH, switching off with Yordan Alvarez. He's your 7-hole hitter.
Well, he can also catch.
Right, and he can catch. And if Martin Maldonado has a year left on his contract, let's say he retires or somehow comes into the being a coach, because I think eventually he's going to be a manager. Like, he's too smart of a baseball guy to not be a manager somewhere down the road. But like, if you're Justin Verlander, you see that lineup. Jose Abreu hits 6 in this lineup. Wilson Contreras would be your 7-hole. Like, at some point, you're like reconsidering you want to come back.
Do you want to keep winning?
Because
You're going to win a lot of games.
you want to win. You want to get to 300 wins if you're Justin Verlander. So it would make sense if you go to the Dodgers. The NL West is not as strong, and the Dodgers kick everybody's ass in that division. But look what the Padres did this past season. They're going to be everyone's back. They're getting Fernando Tatis Jr. back. I don't know what that does for that team, honestly. They did fine without him. But then again, the Dodgers are losing probably Trey Turner. They're going to lose Justin Turner. They're going to lose Cody Bellinger. Out. Say whatever you want about Cody Bellinger, but they're losing him out of that lineup. So the Dodgers might not be that good when it comes to their offensive lineup. Pitching, dude, they'll be stacked, of course, like they always are. So then again, it's like, why would you not want to come back? And if it's money, okay, I get it. But some part of him has to be like, damn, dude, this lineup. And then, like we said, with the shift going away, you're going to want to be on a team that's got the best offensive lineup if you're a pitcher.
Yeah.
So it just makes you think, and it just brings up so many different discussion points.
I think a thing is this. I think Justin's at 244 career wins, so that puts him at 66 away from 300.
Yeah, so
he'll need
like
a 3-year deal. He's not going to win
4 more seasons of at least 15 wins to get there, right? So
could he get there? He can get there anywhere. Like, so that Spaces you guys were on this past week on Twitter.
Twitter Space, yeah.
Chandler Roan dropped in, and he made a good point. Like, the Mets make sense because of Cohen spending money, but Scherzer and JV have never really seen eye to eye.
That relationship's not very good.
Then he talked about the Yankees and Cole. Cole and JV obviously have, they live that Lux life, and they're 2 peas in a pod there, so that makes sense. But the Dodgers being out on the West Coast, family out there, like, if I'm gonna collect the bag, why would I not want to be like, just chill out on the beach? But from the baseball standpoint, you can run it back here in Houston with this potent lineup that they're rebuilding. But from the other side of things, the Astros have really managed letting superstars walk and keep the thing going. Like, that's not like a hot take. They've let Keuchel go. They've let Charlie go.
Just go down the list.
Correa
here.
go.
Right.
They let Springer go. They let Cole go. Like, you had Verlander as one as like another one that leaves. But at the end of the day, you just thank you for everything you did here. Go get the bag. But 2, it felt like down this stretch for Justin Verlander, and he may come back, but he said all the right things. He was a teammate, like a different guy. We've talked about on this podcast. Like, it just felt like this chapter closed for him here.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That happens. It's life. Like, one chapter will end, the next one starts. And having 2 Cy Youngs and 2 titles in this span and all these pennants and all the stuff that go with that, like, that's a pretty damn good chapter.
Yeah.
Like, that's a Hall of Fame chapter in its own.
And he's going to pitch at least 3 more years.
Yeah.
4 more years. It could even be 5 more years. And then a big thing, like his wife, Kate Upton, in the post-game presser on the field after they won the World Series, she said one of the favorite things to do is watch him go out and be competitive, and she'll support him for as long as he wants to pitch.
It's not a Giselle thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to lead to. Like, it could be people are like probably seeing us talk about it, like, why the hell are you talking about it? Well, case in point, Tom Brady and Giselle. Giselle at one point was like, "Oh yeah, like on Man in the Arena. Did you watch Man in the Arena?" She was on that damn documentary talking about how much she supports him through his career. But then all these other reports come out, and now they're getting a divorce because she didn't want him to play anymore.
Yeah, because
she literally did not want him to play the sport that he loves the most and he's the best at. So for a man to have your wife support you and want you to pitch and continue to play the game that you love so much and you've dedicated so much of your life to, that's got to be a big thing for him on the personal side of it. On the baseball side of things, you got to go to a contender. Like
Yeah.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like I'm sorry. Yeah, he can go to the Giants, get the bag, get the money, but are they going to be the best team to get him wins?
Yeah.
Probably not. So it's got to come down to Giants. Again, Astros, I think, will always be in the mix because of the Jim Crane, obviously him being the owner, but the relationship. But then you look at the Mets, like
Mets are going to throw a lot of money.
Steve Cohen has a shit ton of money, and he likes spending it. Do they bring back DeGrom? If they don't bring back DeGrom, do you go get Justin Verlander? Then the relationship like Chandler Rome talked about between him and Max Scherzer. So it's all going to be, I would expect that we're not going to see any decision made until after the new year. Like probably late January, February.
And it's
right
not
before
like the
pitchers,
lockdown
catchers,
last year, right? Like where everything was in a flurry before and then a flurry after. The guys have the full offseason to do it. And I think the big thing, and shifting back to the Astros and getting Jose Abreu, they're not dicking around.
Yeah.
They know there's, okay, this is where we are lacking. Yes, we are coming off a World Series win, but you also have to count the variables of like, this was probably the healthiest team in baseball. Like, shout out to our strength and conditioning coaches, shout out to our nutritionists, shout out to the guys, because there were some bumps and bruises, but compared to other teams, there was nothing that was like, oh shit. Two, you're maximizing the window by going like, all right, we all know Yuli had a down year, had a great playoffs, but he's Father Time's undefeated. What do? Let's go get the best bat available in free agency at first base and shore that up. Okay, catcher. Vaz is out. Molly's still there. Corey Lee and Yonder Diaz are probably a year away. They're gonna fight for a roster spot. What do? Let's shore that up by getting or attacking Wilson Contreras possibly. Oh, by the way, he could play left field to give the big man a break. Oh, he can DH and maximize the lineup and extend the lineup. Oh, okay. Outfield, we probably need another left-handed bat. Okay, what are we gonna do? There's Brantley will be there. I truly think Brantley will be there, and he'll be a Houston Astro, but it's going to be in March. Like, we have to wait. I think everyone, it's not like he's going to sign because everyone has to make sure he can pass a physical, one, but two, that he's healthy. And I think he wants to be here. And I think it makes sense if his family in March is still going to school. You're not going to uproot your kids right in the middle of the school year necessarily. And I think we will pay for that, like pay for him to be here. But before that, let's go shore up another spot. Like, the Astros could have very well just put their legs up and be like, I'm good. Like, we just won the World Series. Let's run it back. But for them to keep pressing and keep going, that just, in today's age of sports where people are like trying to cut costs and not pay people, we're out there like, let's go. The window's there, attack. And I think it's refreshing as hell.
Well, that goes right into what Jim Crane does. Like, what makes a good owner of a sports team, a good businessman, right? Like, I don't care whatever you want to say about Jerry Jones, and you make the comparison between Jerry Jones and Jim Crane, blah, 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 especially with the general manager stuff. Jerry Jones is the best marketer of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Look how valuable the Cowboys are year in and year out. Now, sometimes a product doesn't quite produce the results that you want on the field, but as far as a good owner, like, that's Jerry Jones. Jim Crane, for a owner and never being satisfied, like, they just signed Jose Abreu. They could have easily just been like, you know what, we're going to bring back Yuli Gurriel on a team-friendly deal. He's our first baseman. Yeah. No, they went and got Jose Abreu without a GM.
Who's going to be more protected than he's ever been protected ever in his life.
He's going to hit sixth.
He's going to be able to, one, he's a great hitter in itself, and the stats back that up. But he's going to be able to bounce ideas and talk with these Astro players that just...
You've got the Cuban connection, the international connection, and he's a really good clubhouse guy.
Our scouting department, our analytics, the feel of it, having Dusty, like... And I think it speaks...
His OPS is for his career?
I bet it's like...
Is it like
875?
Is it like 920, 930?
It's 860.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty strong. What's his OPS plus?
Very strong. Career OPS plus is 134. That's just consistently.
Yeah.
And that's being the guy in that lineup for 9 years and not really protected.
This past season, he hit like 40-something doubles. Like, the power numbers were down, okay, but...
The big thing is his walks, too.
Yeah.
Consistently, he gets walked.
Like for me, it goes back to what has Jim Crane done to make you not trust him as an owner?
Where's the outs in this lineup? Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, Yordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Jose Abreu. Chaz will probably be your center fielder, right?
Yeah.
And then you have if you add a Nimmo, you add a Benintendi,
even if you bring back Michael Brantley. Yeah. Think about that.
Brantley's if you get batting 7th.
If you get a healthy Michael Brantley, he is one of the most consistent hitters in the big leagues. He's gonna hit 300, and especially without
with
the
no shift.
Without the shift,
he's gonna hit like 375,
and he's gonna hit 7-hole if he stays healthy. And you bring him back, or if you go get any of the names that you have, Nimmo, Benintendi, Wilson Contreras, those guys are most likely gonna be your 7-hole hitter.
Let's do this: Altuve, Pena, Yordan, Breggs, Tucker, Abreu. Say they get Brantley.
Jesus, man.
Brantley's your 7-hole.
Yeah.
As your DH/left fielder. Your 8-hole is Chas McCormick, who hits the shit out of the baseball, who has great numbers. Yes.
And I think his spot, you remember this past season, like you had the Jake Myers thing coming back. You had Chaz. Like everyone was like, oh, who should be the center fielder? I think he's done enough to be like, he's your center fielder.
He is your opening day center fielder.
So he'll get the majority of the reps. So that'll be good for him knowing like, oh, I'm not, I'm off today or I'm not in the lineup today. He's going to be the guy in center field. So that should help him too. And he hits the shit out of the baseball.
And number 9, obviously he's not going to be better tonight, but Wilson Contreras.
Right.
You literally have the all-star lineup as your everyday lineup. And you have a staff that Christian Javier goes from your 6th man to your potential 2 or 3.
To arguably your to your number 2 arm.
Yeah. Who I think Javier has the nastiest stuff on the team.
Yeah.
Let's slot him in right behind Lance as your number 3. And you're putting Hunter Brown in the 6th spot as an eat up a ton of innings.
I mean, that's
this is a team that you make when you're like 15 years old, 14 years old, playing Slugfest or MLB The Show, like
MVP
and
baseball, and
you're just grabbing all these top free agents and you're putting them all on a team.
Yeah.
That is the Houston Astros.
Yeah,
and it's fucking fun.
Yeah,
every team is you go to Yankees Twitter, you go to Dodgers Twitter, you go to Boston Red Sox Twitter, you go to any other team's Twitter right now, and they are begging their front office to make a move. Not even a move for a free agent, move for their players to stay there.
The Red Sox they were trying to go get Jose Abreu. That was their top target.
And they're letting Xander walk.
The team win the World Series and then make the first big free agent signing next year.
So that's my whole thing. I go back to
What's the point of fuck you money if you don't say fuck you? What's the point?
What has Jim Crane done that has made you not trust him as an owner? He's caught a lot of flack because of the situation with James Click.
Yeah.
And the talk I still see it. I saw it this morning. What has Jim Crane done as an owner that makes you question him? Nothing. And it's even more than just baseball moves. Like, look what he does when the Astros win the World Series. He buys literally everybody in the organization from top to bottom a World Series ring.
Legitimate World Series ring.
The people at the stadium are going to get a World Series ring because Jim Crane is going to buy it for them.
Jim, if you want to send us some over here,
airline miles.
Some airline miles.
And then look at what he did for the minor leaguers. One of the first teams in Major League Baseball to give all of their minor leaguers housing. Jim Crane did that.
What would you give both of y'all? What would you give the grade on the Abreu signing?
Oh, man. I mean, it's no less than a B+.
Yeah, B+, A-.
I think I'm going to argue.
I don't see it as an overpay at his age, of course, but he was going to get paid that.
Yeah.
By somebody. So
I said it
in the market. I don't see it.
I thought it was going to be between 18 and 20. What do you get? 19 and a half?
Yeah, 19 and a half. I do think going down to 19 and a half, that extra 1.5 you save is pretty sharp.
I'd say a B+.
I would say a solid. I would say a solid B because that third year and just time, but obviously, when this contract's up, he's younger than what Yuli is right now.
Right.
And his K rate and walk rate play to when he's getting older.
Right.
More than Yuli should have and did.
And I do think.
I think it's a bit.
And this is just speculating here, but I do think there's a respect to Yuli Gurriel by getting Jose Abreu to follow him.
That's I was literally just about to say that because it's more than just having him in the lineup. The connection with the international guys, the Cuban connection, the respect of Yuli Gurriel, it's beyond just having a big bat in your lineup.
It would have been more, I think it would have been disrespectful if you went and got some low-range free agent rather than getting...
a little mercenary,
right.
We go sign somebody else for 1 year.
Right.
Some replacement player rather than just paying him. So.
And you're getting a guy in Jose Abreu, and I think Din tweeted it. I'll try to find the tweet, but like the community outreach that Jose Abreu's done for the last 9 seasons in Chicago, is second to none. Like he fits in great here. He's a great clubhouse guy. He knows all the Astros, like obviously the Cuban connection, but like
he what did he do a couple of years ago? He sent all the guys breakfast.
Yeah.
Like all the Astros players, a Cuban breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, just stuff like that.
And we saw that with Hector Neris, right? And it's, fuck the Astros, orange team bad. These guys don't care.
Yeah.
These players that come in, they don't care. Hector Neris took out literally at spring training every Latin pitcher in the organization to dinner.
They traded.
Who does that?
They traded.
That's good humans.
They traded and got Christian Vasquez. The first person to pick him up was Martin Maldonado to take him to breakfast.
Yeah.
A guy that could have potentially taken his spot. He picked him up and said, let's go to breakfast.
Yeah.
Like this clubhouse, like people don't understand it. Like people from the outside, they fucking... What's that?
They want to win.
Right. The people hate the Astros. They will always hate the Astros because of everything that's happened. But like this clubhouse, I'm telling you, man, it's like we said 1,000 times, like the October experience and the way that these guys come together and the team chemistry and the brotherhood inside of that clubhouse, it is literally second to none. I don't know that you can find it anywhere else.
And I think that everyone realizes that there's this opportunity here to cement Hall of Fame resumes.
Yeah.
Because you throw 17 out the window if you want. If they get 1 or 2 more on top of this with all the pennants and all the numbers and stuff, like you have Alex Bregman who's played and all he's ever known is ALCSs. Like bare minimum is he's playing for an ALCS every year. He's got 2 titles. He has the stats with the longevity, what we project his career to be. If he gets 1 or 2 more, that's a 4-time World Series champion. Or a 3-time World Series champion with all that stats, you can't say shit.
No.
You give Framber Valdez another one and keep his stats rolling. You get all these guys, Jose Altuve, obviously. Like you get all these guys more titles.
You put Lance McCullers in that same conversation.
Yeah, you keep stacking titles.
If Lance McCullers stays healthy, and we see what he does with the rotation, and then get him another World Series title,
all you at the end of your career, all you got to do is stack numbers behind that. You have the rings.
Right.
So I think it's cool because everyone understands what's there in front of them in this window, and we can end it. But I want to get y'all's opinion on these names. On obviously the smoke on Wilson Contreras, we talked about that, but you have Nimmo, Conforto, Benintendi, Belly, Brantley, Yuli, and Alfaro. This is from Michael Schwab. All these are a list of free agent names that the Astros are tied to. A lot of those left-handed outfielders, they swing it, pretty good from the left side. What are our thoughts?
I like Benintendi and I like Nimmo.
So Nimmo has the qualifying offer attached to him, correct?
Yes.
What is it?
It is.
I think we give up a second-year pick or second-round pick. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a second-round pick.
Okay,
but what happens if we get 2 guys? Because Contreras has a qualifying offer on him. What happens when you get 2 guys with a qualifying offer?
Multiple picks. I think they structure it differently, but yeah, you give up multiple picks.
Okay, so maybe not him.
I like if I were to choose a player that has a qualifying offer attached to him, would be Wilson Contreras over Nimmo.
Yeah. Let me break down. I pulled up Wilson Contreras' career positions. He's played 9 games at first base, 1 game at third base, 32 games at left field, 3 games in right field, 58 as a DH, and then obviously 598 as a catcher.
Yeah, so he's played a little bit.
Yeah, and we gotta get those rookie numbers up a bit.
Yeah, those are.
I mean,
small.
He's played around, but give him a full spring training where you specifically
focus
on that. If Jordan can run
for
around left field,
look for Wilson Contreras, and like this has got to. I'm sure this is in the discussion with him. Come to the Astros, play left field, DH. Martín Maldonado's got a year left on his contract. Then you're the catcher.
You're the guy.
Then you're the guy, and you're going to be on a winning team, and we'll still get you reps behind the plate.
So we need, all right. This is devil's advocate here. We need a first baseman utility guy because Diaz is gone. I don't think Hins has played first, has he? Do we know?
No,
in the minors.
Played first in the minors.
Did he?
So Abreu's played like 94% in his career games. Like he's durable. We know that. But he's gonna need days off. Who's your backup? I mean, like the Yuli utility role. I only see him playing first. Is that worth the roster spot to have Yuli at league minimum and he's your guy to spell Abreu? Because the one name on this list that we're attached to that can play outfield and first base is Cody Bellinger.
You would want Cody Bellinger? I think Chandler Rome made a really good point the other day about if you brought in Cody Bellinger, he makes you more athletic. He makes you you have more youth. He can steal bags. Kyle Tucker, we're obviously going to be, he'll be a 30-30 guy again.
There's a lot of things with the Cody Bellinger thing where on this
David Hensley played 18 games at first base.
So he's played it before.
Oh, well,
okay.
There's a guy that you're going to have as a utility guy.
He played 18 games in Sugarland this past year at first?
Yeah.
He was only there for like 50-something games.
Yeah, he played first base 18 games, second base 23 games, third base 24 games, DH, left field, shortstop. He played.
Okay, so he
can
do it.
literally play anywhere.
33 games, so he pretty much between first base, second base, third base, and shortstop.
He's gonna be a stud, dude.
Yeah.
I'm buying all the stock.
Yeah, I like David Hensley.
The belly thing is interesting because on an Excel sheet on the analytics side, it makes a fuck ton of sense because you can get him cheap.
Oh yeah,
like pennies on the dollar.
The Astros development stats, they might have we have the answer to make him hit again.
But
if we get him,
do we? In the sense, I think he's too far broken and gone.
I think if they got him,
well, apparently he's not.
If they got him, then I would trust that they have an idea.
Well, apparently he hasn't been healthy. Like his shoulder hasn't been the same since whatever happened.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just
get him and make him a hit righty.
But I'm saying maybe the analytics side,
dude,
on a computer makes sense. But the human element emotion side, that's a hard sell.
I mean, he's got to be humble as fuck.
Humble as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, with the shit season,
bro.
The shit seasons he's just had in the last two, like that. This game, what does baseball do? It humbles the fuck out of you. If he's not humbled after the shit 2 seasons he's had, and then he becomes an Astro, like come on,
he's gonna have to carry the box of curveballs every day. He's gonna have to be the snacks guy.
Yeah,
he's gonna.
You're wearing the pink backpack with all the snacks in it.
Look, hazing's bad, kids, but Cody Bellinger,
it's definitely bad. But you're getting your fucking ass
Cody Bellinger, if he came to Houston, and that's just from the guys. This fan base, is going to.
But you know what though? If let's just say that Cody Bellinger signs here. I guarantee you, Cody Bellinger, like you guys just said, he's gonna have to come in humbled. He's gonna have to talk to the clubhouse, okay? And then I'm sure at some point, especially when we get him here on Beyond the Diamond, like he's gonna address the situation. Like you can't come to Houston and not address the elephant in the room, right? No shit, dude. We could do that type of podcast with him. Like we could dude, we could do that with him. But like at some point, he's gonna address it. And then I guarantee you this city will embrace him.
Yeah. Well, especially if Braggs embraces him. If he's like smiling and hugs Altuve, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I think.
God, could you imagine though?
We'd be in the funny timeline because I think Correa to LA is a definitely possibility.
Yeah, they split his swap.
Like that would just be so funny and like the timelines
isn't
of the
it,
multiverse.
That's like a Stranger Things universe type
it's
thing.
It's a multiverse.
Like, it's insane.
Doctor
like
Strange.
Isn't it crazy that we sit here today? Tomorrow is December 1st. That Carlos Correa is a thing of the past. Like, think about it.
You know the meme with the kid dropping Woody?
Yeah.
That's Houston dropping Carlos Correa and like embracing Jeremy Pena.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy to think about that he's just a thing of the past. And he's going to go get money. Like, someone's going to pay him a lot of money.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
Red Sox will.
I'm still interested about Cody Bellinger now.
It makes...
I would if I'm telling you, if he gets here and we get him lucky enough to get him on the podcast, I'm asking him I'm going to ask him the hard questions. I'm like, dude, do you really think that Jose Altuve stole the MVP from Aaron Judge? Like, do you really think that?
Come on the pod. He won't come on the pod.
And we can't though. We can't have him. We got footage of me and you being like, bro, when did we get?
No, that'd be funny though. Like, we could play it for him. We should play it for him.
Should.
Yeah.
Because, well, both of us are, bro, when did we get Justin Turner or whatever it was? Like,
I don't know. At the end of the day, the Astros are making moves to shore up positions that needed to be shored up in the grand scheme of things and give them the maximum odds to win back-to-back titles. And winning back-to-back titles is tough.
It's really hard.
It's really fucking hard.
If they win another title and they go back-to-back, you have to put this golden age of Astros baseball in the conversation with the late 90s, early 2000s Yankees.
1,000%.
The 98, 99, 2000. Then they lost in 01 to the Diamondbacks.
The Yankees had, what, 5 in the Jeter years?
Whatever it was, yeah. Like, you have to put them in that conversation.
98, 99, 2000.
2000, and then they lost in 01. And I think they were right back there.
I think they won 02, and they won 09. No. They had one early. They had like a 95.
Yeah,
they had Jeter's
Braves.
First year. Jeter's rookie year.
In 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You got to put them in the conversation with that. Last thing before we get out of here, how do you guys feel about Jeff Bagwell being involved?
I don't mind as long as there is an analytic voice that's just as
well. You got Furcus.
He's not bullying around the analytic nerds, you know, like shoves them. As long as that's not happening, then I'm cool with it.
Hey, you got Furcus, and then what's the other one? Powers, right?
Andrew Powers.
Is it Andrew Powers? Can you look that up? Jim Crane talked about it. He promoted somebody else. There's Furcus, and there's God. I gotta get these right, man.
I'm going to exercise my right for the fifth.
Really, dude? Just you're not happy with it.
Scott Powers.
Scott Powers. Why are you concerned?
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned unless they bring in Brad Ausmus. That's when my red flags and fire alarms go off. If they were to bring in Brad Ausmus as your GM. What I do like is this. You have a locker room that's player led and they're veterans and they know the game inside out and they know their routines. They know when to ask for help, know when to help their teammates and maximize, and they know how to win. You have a coaching staff that are all coming back. Dysfunction.
Yep.
Look at you fucking dumb, big media MLB writers. Dysfunction. Fuck you guys.
Literally,
everyone came back.
Everyone came. They announced yesterday Gary Pettis coming back.
So much dysfunction.
Yeah.
Just so much dysfunction.
Yeah. Toxic in there.
Ugh. Oh my gosh. You have a coaching staff that knows when to talk to their guys because they've been around the guys from the jump. You have Omar Lopez, who coaches first base, who literally was in minor league coaches for these guys. You have two great pitching coaches. You have 2 great hitting coaches. And you have a manager that can take the analytics and apply it with a human element. And you see that when he goes and throws all his top arms in the World Series to maximize wins. When you see the analytics be the car driving it all, you see Wheeler being pulled when no one scored.
Yep.
You see Blake Snell being pulled when no one scored. You see Zach Greinke being pulled when no one scored. That's when analytics is driving the actual car. The human element is when you use that to maximize it, and you have a guy like that in Dusty Baker that's driving it. My problem is if you have a front office where the analytics aren't coming in anymore, that faucet starts trickling very slow. That's when I have a problem. I do 100% agree with Jeff Bagwell when he's like, look, these guys are human. We've said it a million times on this podcast.
Yeah.
A paralysis by analysis is something that I had when I played. I did not want to have all these numbers because it would get in my head.
I hated the numbers, yeah.
You need some. It's a great off thing. It's a great thing to look at, a barometer, but it's not end all be all. There's still a human element to this. There's still humans throwing the ball. There's still humans hitting the ball. And so I think as long as that faucet is still running and you have a guy like Josh not bullying on the back end, and we'll never know. Obviously, we're not in there. It just feels like there's a lot of positions of power shifting in the background in a Game of Thrones type way where people are just kind of like positioning themselves. That kind of turns me off. But at the end of the day, this team, like, I'd be worried if this team was like the 2015 team with all young guys.
Yeah.
Not in 2022, 2023. I'm not concerned.
I'm not concerned. I think that you have the two assistant GMs. I'm sure Reggie Jackson is in on conversations. Jeff Bagwell, I like how he brings the player perspective. I would be concerned if the analytics do go away, but I don't think it will.
Yeah. I mean, and I understand why people get upset. Like,
yeah, dude, GM by committee this whole season, whatever you do at the trade deadline, and then go get Stearns.
I wish
or Sig
David Stearns. Yeah.
Sig Mejdal.
There you go, dude.
Whatever his name is.
We get you that Astro Ball book so you can load up.
Where's that? We got one here?
It's at the house.
Hey, is that your first tattoo?
Yeah, show the tattoo off. Take us.
Camera.
Oh, he's on. Wait, what?
What?
I ran out of space on my camera.
Unbelievable.
You can't take us out?
No, I cannot.
Great.
Wow.
Well, I guess you're not going to take us out then.
I'm not.
Weird how the camera just turned off right before he's supposed to take us out.
Why is that?
What's happening?
All right.
What's happening at HQ?
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here on that note. Josh, take us out.
Brian, take us out.
Come on, man. The people want you to do it, not me.
Remember, like, subscribe, hit that like button. It's free. Just smash that like button, comment.
Hey, there's still some gold lettered shirts, H-Town versus everyone.
Actually, Josh, can we grab one and show it off?
Head over to ApolloHOU.store.
We're probably going to re-up.
ApolloHOU.store.
Dude, look at that championship gold.
It's a good looking shirt.
It's a good looking shirt.
Buy it. We'll talk to y'all in a couple of days. Peace. Buy it. Buy the shirt. See you later.
Love you guys. Buy the shirt.